There we go. That was weird. Like, wouldn't let me log in again. Hello, everybody. Sorry for the little late start. That one wasn't my fault. But as the title says, preparing to prepare. That means that it's time for dirt racing this weekend. Back on the dirt for a couple weeks, so we got to get tires prepped, and my car, which I haven't looked at since like the South Carolina race, kind of worked on. So we'll see how far we can get tonight. Going to be redoing shocks and probably, I don't know. We'll see what my diff looks like. But yeah, got quite a bit to catch up on. Got some track work to do tomorrow, so won't have a whole lot of time for everything. Got to make sure I pop these holes in the right side so I don't screw it up. And I'm putting together tires for me and Emerson and I, my son and I. And my son's car is at work, so I won't be able to really work on it, but I'll probably be working on that next week. And if any of you guys know anybody that signed up for the J Concepts race that hasn't paid yet, time's running out. Very important to get paid up by Monday. Otherwise, I'm going to have to boot you out. And hopefully those guys that I will boot out hopefully won't come, because if they do, there won't be any places for them. And that would be bad. We don't want that. Shane Albarico's on here. He's on the wait list. So he's one of those guys that's hoping that a whole bunch of people don't show up so that he can get in the race. Hopefully the weather won't be too bad tomorrow. We're kind of in an actual blizzard warning, but I don't believe it's going to be that bad. Personally, I don't think it's going to be that bad, but we'll see. You never know. It's kind of nice to just be kind of working on my old 10th scale stuff. Kind of the stuff I know the most about. So there's a good question. My thoughts on season 3 of Cobra Kai was that I thought that it was way better than season 2 of Cobra Kai. It was kind of a reunion season. So I was really happy with that. But also just like a lot of the action wasn't as over the top as it was in season 2. And I know it's supposed to be kind of campy and all that, but season 2, some of the fighting kind of took me out of it, you know, like when they're in the forest and Kreese has got them in the capture the flag game. Like those are like kids that have been doing karate for like 2 or 3 months, doing like flip kicks and spinning out of control when they get hit and stuff like that. I don't know. Kind of took me out of it. Season 3 is much better at that. Much, much, much better. Beginner nights tomorrow. We got 3 straight weeks of Family Friday Off-Road. So starting tomorrow, doors open at 4. We start racing at what time do we start racing? At 7 o'clock. Got 3 straight weeks of Family Friday Off-Road, and then Saturday Speed Off-Road on the dirt as we prepare for the J Concepts Winter Indoor Nationals. Let's see. Do you do any V cutting on those inserts? Yes, I do. I was just about ready to. So I feel like I've got my tire system kind of down. So I kind of just generally do the same thing. I used to pop holes in these with the leather punch, and holy crap, that sucked. So this is just a quicker, easier way to make the foam just a tad bit softer. Nick's on here. He wants to know what size I'm putting them in. I usually use 3.5. And I kind of go back and forth between doing 2 holes and 3. Sometimes I make a triangle. If I do the triangle, I think I use 3mm, but I'm kind of in a hurry, so I just did the 2 hole with a little bit bigger hole. We're getting a little bit of snow, but it's not too bad so far. It's just a lot of wind. I think we're going to be on the, I don't care what the news says. I think we're going to be on the very far western edge of what's blowing through. So what shock shaft tool do I use? I've got the, I've had the ProTech one for a while. Before that, I had the Losi one, but the Losi one didn't have the little popper for the eyelets, so I changed it out for that one. Trevor's on here. He wants to know what I think about them canceling school. I don't know. The problem is they're in a bind because because technically we're in a blizzard warning, right? And so I think by law, or by maybe not by law, but by what do they call it? Just by policy, if you're in a blizzard warning, you have to cancel school. So I think I don't know. I could be that old curmudgeon, be like, "There, back in my day, we used to walk," but they canceled school early sometimes too. Johnny S wants to know, do I use the ball popper much? I don't for the race stuff, actually, to be real honest with you, but I do for the crawling stuff because I tend to wear out my links a lot. So I have actually used it a lot more for the crawling links and stuff to get the ends out, change them out with brass or go from plastic to aluminum like with the Element Enduro. But for the race stuff, no, definitely not. Honestly, don't change my shock eyelets that much. I probably should, but it's one of those little things that I don't do very much of. So, but I have found myself using it more just for the crawling stuff. Shane Alberico, you're probably too far south for the snow. I mean, we're only supposed to get like 1 to 3 inches. The problem is that it's blowing like a gazillion miles an hour outside, like 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and that turns 3 inches of snow into a raging blizzard. So, oh, Shane got his crawler. That's good. That's really good. See, told you it would show up. Can you talk me out of buying a T6.2? Probably not. I might kind of miss racing truck. Because I had a T6.1 for carpet racing, and as soon as it became apparent I didn't necessarily have to race the last couple races of the series, I turned around and put it on eBay. But I kind of have that like weird thing where I kind of missed it. So I don't know. Maybe this summer series coming up, I might get a truck. There's a whole bunch of guys signed up for the truck class at the J Concepts race that normally wouldn't be driving trucks. So it could be an interesting challenge next year or next season in the summertime. So I don't know. They look really good. The last time I had a truck before this last one that I had, I was not very happy with how they handled. I felt like back in the day, I could show up to a track with my, T3 or Triple XT and just plop it down on the track, practice once or twice, go, all right, it's good. And just stuff underneath my pit area and work on my buggy the whole time. And the last truck I owned before this last one, it was kind of the opposite. Where I felt like I was always working on the truck and kind of didn't feel like I should have been doing that. So I kind of stopped racing truck for a really long time. But now that I've raced truck a little bit, I do kind of miss it. So maybe I need to get one myself. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to talk anybody out of buying something cool. I almost bought a. Oh gosh darn it! I forgot to look for the. I'm supposed to look up these this low-C chassis and measure something, and it was on my list of stuff to do today. But again, gosh, we're so busy at the store, I totally blanked on it until just now. But we got in the low-C LMT rollers the other day, and I was like tempted to get one. But then I'm like, what would I do with that? I'm not going to be going to any of the monster truck events anytime soon. So I didn't buy one yet. Plus my wife would get pissed. So not that it matters. I mean, it'd be my money, but you know what I'm saying. She'd be like, really? And I'd be like, mm-hmm. Yeah. Nick Stevens talking about how it sounds like the turnout's going to be pretty good for this weekend. I agree. You know, it's been so long since we've all raced on the dirt, you know, since the end of the summer series. I kind of feel like these 3 weeks are going to be a nice way to get us back up to speed and kind of get a feel for the big track again. Those that haven't been running, you know, like Friday nights or the Techno series. I think the track will come in pretty quick once, especially on Saturday. Friday nights are always a crapshoot because there's just so many different kind of cars driving on it. But I think Saturday, I think the track will come in really quick. I'm going to put the things out on the track to prevent the roof drip that we get from the condensation, and should catch all that moisture and just make the track more consistent. And I don't think it's supposed to get entirely too cold out, so outside. So that's going to make the track really good. Where are my rags? So I have all this stuff, and I can't find my rag. Bummer. I gotta have one here somewhere. Hang on, I'm gonna disappear for a second. Because I think I know where one's at. Maybe. Maybe not. Well, that's kind of weird. Where'd all that stuff go? Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I usually have a nice orange one right here. Oh well. There was a question on here. What's the reason? Steve RC wants to know what's the reason for punching the holes and cutting the foam. So basically, if your tire is in your wheel with this style of foam, the older foam, you wouldn't really do that. You wouldn't really put holes in them. The open cell foam would allow air to escape, right? But the closed cell foam does not. And so when this is in a rim, it would block the air. And so basically what would happen without the holes is your tire would build up air pressure. The more you go around the track. And so the next thing you know, you get this puffy tire because there's air trapped in there. And with the holes, it allows the air to escape so that the tire is more consistent the whole way. The the reason why you cut the foam, at least for J Concepts foams, generally speaking, they're a little hard, and but they last a long time. But this just makes them a tad bit softer, right? And it also helps them break in quicker. So you see a lot of those guys with those drills and the rollers, what they're trying to do is break down the foam a little bit to make the foam a little bit softer. Well, the V-cut that I use basically helps pick up the pace a little bit. And I've tried it without cutting the foam, and it's for me, it's too hard. It makes the car bounce. At least on our surface, it does. So that's why I do that. But you'll see some guys take the big 4.5 or 5 millimeter hole, and they'll sit there and they'll punch a bunch of holes in this thing. And that is also to help it break in quicker, make it a little bit softer. Yeah. So the other thing you got to do with J Concepts foam, actually any foam really, is you got to make sure that the foams are the same. So if you squeeze these down, like see this one's probably a tad bit off. That one's pretty close. That's a match. And that looks like a match. So sometimes you can get these and they're off. You know, they'll be off by quite a bit, but these are actually pretty close. So you want to have as much of a matched set of foam as you can get. Yeah, otherwise it drives funny. We don't want that. I'm gonna go on my search for a rag because I know I have one here somewhere. Oh, what? Dude, I literally just broke a drawer. Like it broke. I don't want to use my nice one. Well, that's really dumb. I don't have any of those things. Another question here from Peter. I don't think you can convert a T6 to a B6 because the chassis is a different length. That'd be quite a bit to change over. I think the chassis is the different length, and then of course you got your arms and your turnbuckles. So I don't know if that'd be a good idea. It might cost you more than just getting. It might cost you as much as getting a new truck, because the chassis is going to be what, 60, 70 bucks. But I know the truck chassis is a tad bit longer. All right, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I swear, I'm sorry. Haha! Kapla! Kapla! I've been watching a lot of Star Trek: The Next Generation on Netflix now. I've started going back through season 1. So I'm kind of in a big fat nerd mode again. And these next 3 weeks are going to be crazy. I'm going to be spending every inching hour of the day that's not at work on the floor at the HobbyPlex, on the dirt track at the HobbyPlex to get it ready for this J Concepts race. There's a lot of stuff to clean, a lot of stuff to fix. So I'm going to have a lot on my plate. It's going to be busy. I'm looking forward to doing a lot of live stuff, though, February 5th through the 7th. I know that Ryan Mayfield signed up, Cole Tollard, Dakota Fend is signed up, so it's going to be a good one for sure. Hope the track layout that I build is going to be should be really fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be doing a build video on that one. That'll be a couple parter, I'll probably do one a day starting Saturday. So there's gonna be a lot to do. Yeah, that's true. So Louis F on here, he just said that dirt guys cut the foam and carpet guys really don't, because at least for the rears for buggy and stuff and for truck, they're open cell. So there's no need to cut them at all. Because they're hard. Like the carpet tires are hard, so they don't really, I don't know, they don't really need the closed cell foam, but then also you don't have that, because it's an open cell foam, you don't have to worry about the tire pressure buildup. Shane, unfortunately, you are I think your dad and you are 29th and 30th on the list. And as of today, I had a couple more cancellations today, so I've been able to knock out to like 10th and 11th on the list. So I've really been sending out some emails. I've been hitting up Facebook. Some of these people that are on there, I've been trying to get a hold of them on Facebook and be like, hey guys, are you coming? You're signed up. And I really don't, it doesn't bother me if they don't come. What it does bother me though is if like after the 18th, I take them out of the race program and they come anyways, and then they wouldn't have a pit spot because we are maxed out on pit space. So it's going to be one of those things. We'll see how many people drop out. I have made contact with quite a few that saying they're paying tomorrow because it's payday, or they're coming this weekend, so they're going to pay when they're here. So you'll just have to wait and see on the 18th and see how far down we get. There's a kid and another guy from California that want to come, and unfortunately they're actually behind you. So I'm hoping that I eliminate, and I guess I hope that I'm eliminating people, but I definitely need to get the guys that aren't coming off the list so I can contact people that want to come and get them out there for sure. So I'm in a weird spot with this car because on it right now are silver compound, and they're really good. Like the past couple of weeks that we've raced on a Friday when the track hasn't been too wet, these tires that are in my car right now are really, really good. And so I'm not even sure if I want to run these anymore, if I just want to hang on to them and, clean them up and then put them in a bag or something and just save them for the race. Because the one thing you don't want to do is run yourselves out of tire like I did at the South Carolina race. I thought I was being prepared, and I still found myself behind the 8-ball when it came to tires. So the goal is to not let that happen again, especially at my home track. Shane says he's gotten to use his M17. That's pretty awesome. We actually sold a bunch of those. I think we sold like 4 or 5 of those things all of a sudden in December and the first part of January. If I didn't owe my wife $600, I might have thought about getting an M17, but I had to pay my wife off for my plates. But the plate thing is done. It's all over with. Next year, it's only going to be a couple $100, and everything will be great. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. The first J Concepts race that we held, the INS race. So we've held the 2013, 14, and 15. And then when we got the Roar Nats, Jason wanted to move it somewhere else because we already had a big race. So this will be our first one since then. And that first year, 2013, I had like what should have been the worst set of tires ever. They were just clapped out. They were like floppy. The edges were all, I had re-glued it, so many times or whatever. And they shouldn't have been a good pair of tires, but they had so much traction that I qualified myself into the A main back then on those tires. And I ran the same set of tires, the qualifying and the mains. And the second year that we held it, you couldn't do that anymore because everybody had kind of gone to golds. That was a set of green, was it dirt webs? Might have been something like that. So, but it was like a super soft compound. And then the next year, everybody started running clay, and they started figuring out how to get clays to work at the Plex. And so, still made the A. But I had Will actually mess with tires for me. He was like heating them up. This was before everybody started heating up their tires, but he had them like heated up and treated and all that stuff. And I kind of learned how to make them work from him. And yeah, the 2015 side of things, I think talent and the tires, everybody kind of got a better idea of what to get their tires to work. And I was definitely behind the 8-ball there. I think I made the B. But I hear you. Like it's so tempting to not like find a good set of tires and then just not mess with them and hang on to them. Alex R says, are you gluing them and then sand them down tomorrow? I probably won't sand these down. So what I do, and this goes in with Lance is on here, how do you heat treat tires? So basically, and this is only with golds. So these are silvers on the car, and you don't do this with silvers. But with golds, at the HobbyPlex at least, for like, summer series and club racing, is I'll usually put them on the car, brand new set, and I'll sauce them with, I use PB Blaster, but you can also use liquid wrench, or even your favorite tire sauce, but I think it works better, at least at our track, just regular old PB Blaster or liquid wrench. So you put them on the car, and then I take a heat gun, right? I sauce my tires up, and then I take a heat gun, and I get it pretty close to the tire, and I just turn the wheel, and you'll start to see it smoke a little bit. If that bothers you, don't do that. But the tire smoke doesn't really bother me that much. So basically, I just I get it nice and hot, and then I take my sauce and I reapply it. And when it's hot, you can actually see the pores of the tire had opened up the rubber and will actually absorb a lot more of the tire sauce. And then I do the other side, and I do the same thing. And then I let that sit for a little bit, and then I go out and I run it. And then usually about 2 or 3 minutes in, you can start to finally kind of do some good laps. And then I do that one more time after that first practice, and usually by then they're golden. The Plex, we don't really do slicks, so I normally don't sand my tires down if I can help it. But if I do, it's Scotch-Brite, and I'll just do, put it in a chuck of a drill, and I'll just do a little bit at a time. But I've found, at least in the summertime, for like our summer series and stuff, that just doing that, usually heat cycling it twice and running your car in between, works really, really well. So but it's also what's the word? I just lost my train of thought. Anyways, hang on a second. I just had somebody pay. So, anyways, with silver compound tires, I don't do that. With silver compound, you can basically you can ruin a pair of tires doing that. And so I just sauce them up and I go out there and I drive. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So if you have tire warmers, right? So that's why a lot of guys really like using tire warmers, and they're basically trying to do the exact same thing that I just laid out, except that you don't get the smoke. It's basically just baking the tire sauce into the tire. So my buddy Zeke from Colorado, he kind of says that it's just a more sanitary way to do the heat cycle thing, as opposed to hitting it with the heat gun and having smoke go up and everybody can see it and smell it. So if your track, you better make sure that that's allowed if you want to try that. A lot of tracks will make you do it outside. Some of them won't let you do it at all. Just kind of depends where you're at. I think for this J Concepts race, we're going to have a couple tables set up outside unless it's bitterly cold out, and then we'll try to figure something else out. But for like regular race days like Saturday, nobody cares. We have such an enormous amount of space that it doesn't really matter that much. So yeah, sometimes if I feel like I've got a really good pair of foam, I will actually just cut the foam out of the tire, throw the tire away, and save the foam. Especially in the summertime, when the track, when our track dries out really quick, it seems like blown out foam works really well. So sometimes I'll go and at least reuse foam, maybe more than once. Depends on how it gets. Sometimes it can get too much, and that's, you don't want that either. And then like I think you also got to watch too. Like if I were to scuff down tires, I'd probably do it first. If I knew I had to have a lower tread, I would scuff it down first and then do the heat cycle thing. I wouldn't heat cycle it and then scuff them, because the other thing you got to do, this is what happened to me in South Carolina when we were running slicks, right? I made a brand new pair of slicks for the mains, but I used like sandpaper instead of Scotch-Brite. And I think I spun it too fast, the drill. And so basically what I did was, instead of just grinding the tread away, I burned the tread away, and it like capped the tire. And so it made it so that the sauce couldn't penetrate it as well. And it just made the tires suck. So yeah, so I think if you're gonna scuff your tread down, do that first, then heat cycle them, and that way you don't accidentally ruin your tires. Because I've done that too before at the Nats, at the Nationals in 2016. I ruined a set of Proline tires. I wasn't sponsored by anybody, and I ruined a set of Proline tires, and that was a bad day. Shane Alberico, the independent class is a control tire, and you're going to get they're going to get their first set of tires free, front and back, and then they'll have to pay for their second. You're going to be able to purchase one more set of tires. So they're only going to be limited to 2 tires, and there's a tread rule. So for the independent class, it's visible tread. So they can't just take them and sand them down into slicks, which they probably wouldn't want to do anyways, but still. Yeah, so that'll be control tire. Dan J, any recommendation for someone coming to Family Friday night for the first time? Be on time. That's the biggest thing. The worst thing ever is when you have the heats all set up for a 7 o'clock start, and then somebody walks in and wants to sign up like 4 of their family members at 7:01, and then that just holds up the race program. And then the other thing, it's Family Friday, so the cool thing is the environment that we have, nobody's any good. So that means that nobody cares. just come out, be prepared to have fun and enjoy yourself, and be prepared to break stuff, because that's usually what happens if it's your first time out racing. Don't let yourself get frustrated by that. And give yourself a couple weekends or a couple weeks of Family Friday, and the next thing you know, you'll stop breaking stuff, and you'll be having a lot more fun. And then everybody there is available to answer questions. Nobody's a douchebag on normally on Friday night. So we've tried to have a stressful, basically no. There's no douchebags. So anybody will be able to answer your question. But when I was running Fridays, my biggest thing was just be on time. That's the biggest thing for me. So Shane, we have 2 stock classes. We have expert, and then we have what I call independent, and other tracks might call it sportsman. But the main rule for the independent class is that you cannot have any sponsors. So if you're sponsored by Dialed Hobbies or something like that, or Bob's Backyard Pistons, or you have to run expert. So independent is for just regular everyday Joes, regular people just coming out to have fun and race and have a good time, and not be worried about winning the race to show their sponsors. You're independent. Remember that it's probably still a brand. Wasn't there like an independent brand? Was it skateboard? Or was it music? Or was it both? I can't remember. I was going to steal the logo for the flyer, but never really got around to it. Oh, there you are.
No school tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. You don't have school tomorrow. Lame.
Woo!
Dude, get your chair over here and build some tires.
Okay. Share moment.
Yeah, we have a chair. We have matching chairs now.
What am I doing?
Okay, well, here's what you're going to do.
Special guest.
You're going to clean the bead of these tires.
This thing goes high.
Yeah, I know. So here's that and that. Yeah, so Shane, if your parent is a sponsored driver, that's a tough call, because Emerson here, he won one of the independent buggy classes a while back when I was still sponsored by TLR, but he technically wasn't sponsored by anybody. Technically now both of us are sponsored by J Concept, so of course we couldn't run independent, but if hey, come on, get going. If if the contract isn't in your name, then it's not a huge deal.
Just with the Simple Green?
Yep. So spray Simple Green on that, and then you're going to rub the edges of the tire so that they're clean.
You got me.
Huh?
I'm wearing your sweatshirt that you got.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. But I think you're good enough to run expert, so that's probably where you should be. Huh.
Here.
Did you get both sides?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Question: can we buy the HT hoodies you guys have? You will be able to soon. I need to go in and order them. I didn't get a chance to do it this week, so I'll do it next week. But they're going to be gray. The employees are going to get black one, keep the black ones, and the ones that we're going to sell are going to be gray. We actually are going to do that. We have to do that for a reason because we don't want anybody behind the counter that's in Hobbytown or HobbyPlex gear. So if you're wearing a gray hoodie and you're behind the counter, then you shouldn't be. That's kind of how that's going to be seen. So but yeah, I've been threatening to get the hoodies for a little while, and I finally got, I think I got permission. So I'm supposed to get more shirts made, hoodies for you guys, and then I got to get some work shirts done too. So I got a gray hoodie. On Monday, my sister got me a South Park hoodie with Stan, and it just says, he's wearing a mask, and it says, "I just want my life back." So awesome. I can't wait to like go out in the general public and wear that, because I can't wear it at work. So, I mean, I can, but it would have to not be at work. It'd have to be like, you know what I mean. What else have we got? What else is going on? Yeah, it's crazy because I actually asked for a shirt, not a hoodie, and then I got surprised with the hoodie. So I was pretty happy to see that.
These ones now.
Yep. Make sure you dry them off too. After you do it, you got to dry them off so the glue will actually hold. What are we doing? This thing is like wobbling all over the place.
It's been like that since we've got it.
Whatever. So the thing about the SCX 24 crawler there, Shane, is that there's a lot of little itty bitty issues with that. I'm surprised you didn't burn out a motor. The motors seem to be going pretty fast. Whoa. The motors seem to be going pretty fast on those. So, and they're out of stock until like the end of this month, supposedly. So we'll see what happens. Matt Robinson says, I think Don and I are going to pit out of his trailer. So would that allow you to accept 2 more entries? Actually, that actually would, because that would open up 2 pit spots. Why would you do that? Isn't it going to be cold? Or are you guys going to pit out of like a trailer, like a camper? And is Don Drews even entered? I can't remember if he's entered or not. Oh, that sub art kid is back here again.
That's Isaiah.
Is that the kid that you make the videos with?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So on Emerson's Instagram is a video that he's made a couple times, and his buddy that he makes the videos with is on here. So that's pretty cool.
reminder.
Yeah, sure. What do I think of FT? Is that Factory Team selling complete shock upgrades with Fox bodies? When, I don't know. Did they start doing that? I guess I missed it.
Do you want to try the New Melon one?
No.
Yes.
Gross.
It's not very good.
That's pretty gross. Huh. That's pretty cool. How much are they? Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shut that off. Why no rubber bands on the front tires? Well, sometimes I do, but they fit so tight that you normally don't need them. On the rear, because they can kind of come out of the groove a little bit, you definitely need the rubber bands on the back. But in the front, it doesn't seem to be. They always fit really nice. So I don't know. I guess I never really do it because they already fit. The rears, they can like see how they kind of come out a little bit. You almost need to have the rubber band on there the whole time to hold that in place, so they glue nice and tight. God, I'm short again. $90 for a pair? Come on.
Is that a lot?
Poop. My cat's down here, and for a minute I thought it was puking because I heard this like guttural sound.
I've only seen Finn puke.
But it wasn't that. It was the chair moving. Thank God.
Here you go.
Oh, for all four? That ain't bad. $90 for all four. So I punch my holes in the inside sidewall. I don't do it in the top because I don't want a bunch of crap getting in there. If there's like a puddle or something out on the track, you don't want to get any water in there. And I definitely don't put it on the outside, same reason. But on the inside, that's where I punch my holes at. Just seems to work really well. And then I'm make sure I don't make the mistake of accidentally putting the holes in the wrong side.
I got 25 on. Nice.
Louis on here. Have you ever done any on-road racing? I have. The on-road winter series at the Plex is this Sunday, and I'm hoping to maintain my points lead in USGT 21.5. We'll see. And in the past, I've raced a lot.
Can I work on this?
No, there's nothing to work on. It's ready to
I
go.
want to put tires on it.
Hey, we don't have any tires.
Yeah, we do.
Hand me my 12 scale body up there.
This one?
Yeah, the black one. And but back in the day, give me that. Back in the day, there used to be nothing but on road in Omaha for a while. We really didn't have an off road until like 2005 and 6. So if I wanted to race locally, on road was the only way I could do it. So.
Why's your back?
Emerson's friends on here. He wants to know, do you work or do you own even a car company or something? No, and no. I just work at the store, man. I'm just an employee. And luckily, the owner has allowed me to use the HobbyPlex name for our YouTube channel. And so I'm able to bring all this to you. under that banner. But I definitely don't own it, nor would I want to. There's way too many bills.
I'm gonna put these monster truck tires on here. It looks cool.
Tan Man's on here wants to know how's the dirt set up right now, 1/10 or 1/8. We will call it somewhere in the middle. There's a nice big triple that is very easy in mod, probably hard or maybe not doable in stock. I guess we'll find out on Saturday. But I changed the track for the latest round of the Techno series last week. That's our 8-scale racing. So, and then I'm going to go with a complete total track build for this national event we're having. And I'm not going to do any extra work in between. So that's the track we get for now. The track is pretty fun, especially with the mini truggy. And then, what's your friend's name?
Isaiah.
Isaiah. All these cars back here, those are all mine.
Did he ask for that?
Yeah. Those are mostly like classic shelf queens. They'll probably never see a track ever again. They're just for show. They make a good backdrop for this program and others. Benjamin Humphreys on here wants to know what electronics I run. I run mostly Hobby Wing speed controllers and motors that kind of bounce back and forth between a couple. So the car's kind of dirty right now, but that's why I'm preparing to prepare. But so I got my my G2 Elite and my ProTech servos. I always run ProTech servos. I think they're really good. Best bang for your buck, in my opinion. Same thing with their batteries, ProTech batteries. And then the motor that's in my car is a Rudog. A-Main had them on their site for like $54. And we can get all that stuff
Good catch.
Through the store. So I went ahead and ordered one for the store just to try it. And it works really good. So I've also I also had that so here's my 8 scale and kind of the same deal. I'm running the SCT XR8 and a Rudog motor, and I just happen to have one of these 4 cells lying around. I'll probably get a ProTech eventually as far as battery goes. And then the servo from this one right now is a Savix, just because I had it lying around. But when I'm able to get a 155T, I will.
Look at how gangster this thing's gonna look.
Yeah, that's a. Oh no! Don't do that. You're gonna rip out the gears and stuff.
No, it's gonna look cool.
No, it looks stupid.
It looks cool.
Stupid.
It's awesome.
I think it looks dumb.
Your opinion.
Dumb. Totally dumb. But before that, I ran Orion stuff. He still has an Orion in his mod car for speed controller. That's the last bit. So Shane says that his friend told him that as long as he wasn't at full bore all the time, you won't burn it out. Take the sticker off. I can see that. I bet you that sticker does make it hotter. And yeah, I think a lot of the motor problems have been coming from people just jamming on the throttle and staying on it. It's just a tiny little motor. I mean, you'd expect it not to hold up too much. So yeah, Lance, my 8 scale is I'm excited to get it going. It's probably going to wait until we get closer to the next Techno Series round, just because I have so much other stuff on my plate. But all I really need is wheels and tires and a body. And because every body is not just the cost of the body, but it's also the cost of the paint job for the body, I'm I'm actually going to be ordering a J Concepts body for it and giving that to my painter. So, yeah. Wiz wants to know, do you need a Mylapse transponder to race? Not at the Plex, you don't. Because we have house transponders. So if you don't have a transponder, you're good to go. It is nice. So if you like racing and you're really going to do it a lot, like if you come out and you give it a shot and then you go, man, I really like this, and you find yourself there every week, it's a really good investment because you don't have to come in and grab a transponder and remember to bring it back and then run back out there to Marshall and put a hole in your bodies and all that other stuff. So, having your own personal transponder is pretty nice, but you definitely don't need one. So
these back shocks need a shock rebuild.
Jason Haley wants to know, when you heat the sauce into the tire, is the purpose to get down to the carcass? Yes. It's not just into the bar treads, it's into the whole thing. You're trying to get that stuff to kind of help break down the tires slightly.
These ain't shock rebuild. Look at this.
Well, the springs are really soft.
I know. I was just gonna put harder shock oil in it.
Well, you just need to screw down on the when we get the ride height figured out. You'll need to adjust the preload.
Okay.
Because they haven't been on a track yet, so we don't even know the ride height is correct.
Okay. They still feel really soft.
It's the softest springs that, see, the ride height's really low. It's the softest springs that Techno makes. So Techno springs work on Traxxas GTR shocks. So it gives us some tuning options. So I put them on that truck, but we haven't adjusted the ride height yet. I bet you it's going to work really good when we get the ride height correct. Anyways, come on. I got one more set of tires I got to do. Did I cut those? Yeah, I did cut those. Okay, good.
We need more space.
Nah, not really.
For when I'm down here.
Shane's bummed out that his dad hasn't gotten him any new Reds speed controller and motor stuff. That's what Mason runs, I think. Mason Fuller.
She was bouncy.
Why not heat the tire from the inside of the tire before mounting? I don't know why we don't do that. I think I remember Will playing around with like saucing the inside of the tire before. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we don't do that. Maybe it's just easier to have it mounted just for the sake of being able to do what you need to do with it, I guess. Because I think part of it is because some of that tire sauce stuff has acetone in it, and you wouldn't want to get acetone on the bead. So you would have to be very careful if you were going to try to do that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Shane, you're totally right. They don't run Reds anymore. They run Trinity. I forgot about that.
Have you seen the scientific name of pine trees?
I have not. Daniel's on here. Daniel Bender. Fender Bender.
Can I show the camera?
No. All right, hold on. We're laughing at this, folks. We're juveniles. It's the scientific name for pine trees. He finds that super funny.
It's Pinus.
But I can't help but laugh because it's funny. Because he's funny.
You don't get it.
Exactly. It's Pinus. It sounds like penis. So the other day I was trying to get Cam to play the penis game with me in the store, and he wouldn't do it. Probably for good reason, though. Let's see. Tan Man he says, what's the best changes in design engineering in the past year or so? Anything. I think, and I don't have it on my car, but I think that new shaped slipper clutch, the Octo clutch or whatever it is probably one of the better advancements to hit this car in a while, because having a consistent clutch is really important, especially on bigger trucks like a T62 or a four-wheel drive. I remember when we went from a standard slipper clutch to the twin plate design, when that became a thing, and how much finer that was. Like, you really didn't even need a hydro drive, because you could adjust it so smooth. So that's probably one of the probably overlooked advancements. And then I don't know, most of the cars now are just kind of the same, so there's not really anything groundbreaking. I think just the fact that both cars, the Losi car and the associated car, have kind of refined their rear end to be able to have the hubs so that you can use spacers to move them back and forth. And then how we're all using the pills now, not just associated cars, but the Losi cars too. That's probably a big deal. And the making sure to have how everything's kind of gone to the variable length dog bones, with whether you need traction or not, I guess. So that's a good question, though. Yeah, the Stormtrooper in the back is actually Emerson's. He got it from my I'm not even sure what to call her. I guess my stepmom.
Did you glue it?
But I confiscated it, so.
Yeah, it's supposed to be mine.
Yeah, it's supposed to be his, but it's part of my Star Wars collection. The cool thing about getting everything prepared like this now is just you're not in such a rush on race day the whole time.
That was a big burp.
It is dumb. So tomorrow the track opens up at 4 p.m. I'm going to be hanging gutters tomorrow, trying to get a hold of our roof drip situation.
Ooh, I'll go grab it.
It's actually worked out. We've been able to really knock a lot of it out, but now I'm going to be doing even more, trying to refine it. That one puddle over there on the far northwest corner is just annoying. Super annoying. Oh, got another one. Got a Troy Weber just paid for his entry, so that's pretty awesome.
It's a 8.25 anti-hero skateboard. Thunder Trucks and Orbs wheels.
Is there open practice all day? Not tomorrow. Tomorrow we're kind of back to our regular schedule. So officially the track opens at 4 on Friday. I got a couple things I got to do out there. So Demonic Wolf 69 is on here. He says, don't remember if I said it, but love the track last weekend. It's fast and fun. Thank you very much. I tried my best. With the Plex, with all the different racing we do, it's just you're trying to find that balance between making something too big for the Family Fridays racers and too small for the 8-scale racers. You want to be somewhere in between. So we are racing tomorrow. So if it's a blizzard, we'll figure it out. We'll give it a shot. We're definitely racing on Saturday. It should be over by then. Lance wants to know what's where's that at? Where did that go? Will said he's running a puck system. Is it a big difference? So I don't know. I had a puck once on the Losi car a long time ago, and I didn't really like it. It's the little ends on them wore out so fast that I made my car squeak, which I didn't like. But what Will's going for is weight. He's trying to get his car as light as possible, and so the puck system that he has is aluminum, and so it's shaving off a bunch of driveline weight. So his idea is to get his 4-wheel drive as light as he can, so it can compete with the Losi car, which is pretty light. It's got a lot of like the plastic gear sets and all that other stuff in there. Pierce is on here. Yes, we're back to dirt starting Saturday for 3 weeks of club racing, and then our big J Concepts race. So Wolf's on here again, and yeah, I know the weather kind of just bad timing. We'll see how bad it is. Maybe it won't be as bad as I know Iowa's going to get hit hard. I know North or South Dakota is already getting hit hard, and I have a bunch of family in Sioux City and stuff. So, but it's winter in the Midwest. It is what it is. John Haas did the brushless system tonight. His son did it all, but the soldering. Nice. That's one thing about him is he's actually soldered boards and stuff before for our quads. Remember that?
Yeah, isn't it like right there?
Yeah, you were soldering on all the motors and stuff back then.
Yeah, because they were broken
when we were doing that.
The Proto X
stuff. Yep.
It's my old drone.
I wonder if that even works.
I bet it does.
It probably does.
Should I bring it tomorrow? I kind of want to.
I don't know where our radio's at.
Didn't we used to use your old one?
Yeah, I don't know where it's at.
I still have the screen. It's like over there.
No, that's not the radio though. That's
I know.
That's the transmitter. I don't know where my controller's at.
I bet it still works. Or didn't one of the motors go out or something?
Yeah, I think so. That's bad if I don't know where my controller's at. It's got to be at work somewhere because it's a DX6. It's like a $200 airplane radio, and I don't know where it's at. Dumb.
Where are you gonna paint?
Gosh, I have it, Nick. I have it written down in the tech area at Emerson's. There's no school tomorrow in Bennington, but I have it all written down in the tech area. Our scale for the trucks doesn't go high enough to measure it, so most of the time trucks aren't overweight or underweight anyways. But I could probably tell you what it is. Hang on. I wonder if I can find it really fast without boring everybody to death. What time is it? Oh, we got a little bit of time. Roar, 2-wheel drive, buggy, weight. Minimum weight is 1,500 grams. And I think my car comes in at like 1,540 with all that stuff on it. So, yeah. Shane's 4-wheel drive, he had to add a little bit of weight. That's what I had to do with when I had my low-C car. Holy crap. With a lightweight pack 3,600, it was underweight. And that was with the plastic spider gears and the diffs and a slipper clutch. So
Holy crap, you can hear the wind from down here.
John Haas wants to know, they have their Mylapse registered with Mylapse. Well, what'll happen is you'll go across the loop, and then the computer will pick it up, and then more than likely it'll just get drag and dropped under your name. And once that happens, it's memorized into the system and will forever be yours until you change it. So should be really good. Bender's on here. He came in and got a 27 tooth pinion gear and a 78 tooth spur gear. That's probably, I don't know, I might be pretty high for 13.5, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So one way to tell if your tire's good or not is to sniff it. And it still smells like glue, so we're going to let it sit there.
Who sniffs their tires?
It's true. If it doesn't smell like glue, it's done. No, I'm serious. That's a good way to tell. The only thing is there are side effects. That's all. That's what I thought. I thought 2778 was going to get that baby. Because I think I ran my my low-C car at like 2478 with the 13.5. And the lower I geared, the faster my car got. So we'll see. We'll see what it says. I might just bring that tomorrow the way it is. Just run a weekend on it and then come back and work on it some more. There's going to be plenty of people at the track with a temp gauge. I need to find a tech guy for the J Concepts race. My tech person backed out, so
I can tech.
No, you're going to be racing.
I am?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At the J Concepts race, we're going to check blinky mode, weight, stock racing. So blinky mode, weight, voltage, battery temp, and whether or not your motor is legal. So
that is an illegal motor.
Got to have somebody there to do all that. I was going to try to do the I got this cool thing, but I didn't have time. They scheduled me to close on Thursdays now. So that means I don't get home till like 8:40.
I can start it. I can start a live stream.
Yeah. So then I don't really I barely have time to come down here and get all that.
Should I pre-make your dinner?
Yeah, pre-make my dinner would be great. Wolf wants to know what weekend is that? That's February 5th, 6th, and 7th. And I have been sending out emails and trying to get a hold of people that are signed up for the race that haven't paid yet to hurry up and get on that. Just while we were sitting here, I got a couple people signed up, so that's really good. And or paid, I should say. They're already signed up, but paid. And then Monday's the purge. So right now we're full. We don't have any more pit space. And so we got to get We got to get all of our people that are on the wait list. Got to let them know whether or not they're in or not. So Monday is the day.
I'll be right back.
We're gonna get a blizzard. No. Motors. Mason wants to know if we're gonna get our motors checked and stickered. No, we're not. I'm not gonna do that. I don't have anybody to help tear apart motors and do all that stuff. So it's not going to be as intricate as a like a Roar National. So we might be doing the pole test though. I don't know. I got to get all that lined up. I think we still have an inductance meter. The problem with inductance is that it can change from day to day. So based on just like humidity, temperature, that sort of thing. So we're going to have tech, but when it comes to stock racing, I mean, if somebody's putting if somebody tried to put a 13.5 in their 17.5 car, it's going to be pretty blatantly obvious. But the main thing that we watch for is like battery voltage, 8.4 is the limit. So I'm going to make that known at the race. And yeah.
What can this be used on? Can I just put this in my bearings?
Yeah, it's just a degreaser. That's all it does. Shane Alberico, I won't know if you guys get in tomorrow because the cutoff is Monday. People have till Monday to pay. So when I kick everybody out on Monday, then I'll know how many spaces we have, and I'll let all those people know. So don't get your hopes up. You guys are like you were like 29th and 30th. So yeah, you're about 20 away.
Is there a waiting list?
There is a waiting list.
That sucks.
You do not need to sign up for Saturday. All I got to do is come out and race. We don't have to worry about any online sign up here in Nebraska because the state has opened her up to 75% capacity for events. The HobbyPlex capacity is 300 people. We've never gotten that many for anything before. So we've gotten 300 entries, but not 300 people. So we can't do that, Shane. Sorry. It's not as easy as just rolling up the carpet.
Isn't it glued to the ground?
It's glued down, and that carpet costs $9,000. So we're not going to be putting anybody on the carpet. Sorry.
He's actually been really good with this in there.
If it was the old gray carpet, it might have been possible, but this black stuff's real nice and plush, and you don't. If you put a chair on it, it sinks, and we've actually had that happen before. So we don't mess with the carpet anymore when it comes to pitting arrangements. All right. Well, I'm starting to get tired, so I got to be at the track nice and early tomorrow to do a bunch of work and try to clean and keep things going. So I think I'm going to bail. And oh, wait, hold on, one more. What all runs on Saturdays? So this Saturday is going to be just a regular off-road, like two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive buggies, stadium trucks, Plex spec, and possibly electric 8 scale. So
that is a possibility.
So Daniel, we did not get the carpet from Kelly's. We got it from CRC. It's a specific style of track or carpet that's made specifically for carpet racing. So it's that's part of the reason why it's expensive. It had to be shipped to us, and but it's specifically made for RC car racing. So You can't really get it locally. Okay, with that, I really am going to go. I'm starting to get tired, so I will. I'll see you guys next
Bye-bye.
week. Bye. And Monday. Don't forget podcast on Monday with Will. So see you guys later. See you guys this weekend. Hopefully, be safe. Don't get blown off the road.
Don't get COVID.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Yeah. Don't do that.